Hey, folks, welcome. I know I am one of the three people on the planet who am not a big fan of live air traffic control. I think that the number of controllers at any one time in any given area is much smaller than real life. The number of pilots in the sky is much smaller, and uh, maybe in some respects not as serious as they should be. So I much prefer an air traffic control program. And for the longest time, those folks who have followed me, you know that I love this program called Pilot to ATC. It's interactive, it's visual, and human beings are a visual species. So I believe that we interact best visually. But I've been trying out a new program the last couple of days. Actually, I should say it's new to me. It's been around for what I understand to be a very long time, but new to me, and it's called PF3. So let's fire it up, and let's put the two side by side. Now, PF3 is what I call fire and forget. It takes quite a while to get every nuance of PF3 standalone. They're both standalone. They both are separate entities and require FSUI PC7 to interact with the flight simulator. But PF3, and I've used this now 3 times, and I've found that it takes quite a bit on the front end, but once you've got it set up, that's it. No more interaction. Matter of fact, that's one of its failings is you can't interact with it after the fact. In many cases, there are ways of doing limited things, but for the most part, you get it set up and then you fly it. On the other hand, Pilot to ATC is big and visual. It's got this map, it's got this grid, it's got a little button for the air traffic control frequencies, it's got all sorts of nuances, and it is my first love. Anyway, so what I want to do is set up the same flight in both air traffic control programs, but I'm only going to be flying with the new one. But so with the old one, first step, go to flight plan import. We have our flight plan from SimBrief. I'll just load this up real quick and go to last flight because that's what it was. We are Virgin Atlantic flying in an Airbus from Louisville, Kentucky to St. Louis, Missouri. And our routing is very simple. It's just two waypoints, one waypoint, one VOR. The routing is the Apollo 6 departure to Apollo, then to PXV VOR, and on to St. Louis. So there's no arrival, no star, and one SID. And we're departing from the east to the west, so we'll want an even altitude in 1,000-foot increments. And I'm going to force the departure and arrival runways to flow in the easterly, westerly direction. So we won't have to worry about curling around for an approach. So let's go to the air traffic control program and enter in our routing. Kilo, was it Sierra Delta Foxtrot, I believe, was Louisville. Apollo. And then it was Papa X-Ray Victor. And then Kilos, St. Louis. Okay, and let's import that. And again, because it's so visual, you can immediately see if your route makes sense. So we got Louisville, Apollo, PXV, St. Louis, and then a line for our missed approach. So that perfectly makes sense. We do have one SID to enter, and that is we're going to force a runway 29 departure. we're going to be on the Apollo 6, and the transition will be Apollo. So we'll load that in, and all that we'll do is add in about 6 waypoints here at the very beginning, which is exactly what we want. And I am comfortable with this. I could connect this to the simulator and have a very comfortable flight. Cruise altitude of 22,000 feet, 1,200 foot per minute, ascent and descent at a planned speed of 310 knots ground speed. So that is a reasonable flight in an A320 aircraft. So, but that's the old, and we're going to have that off to the side. But our job today is to try out the new. So here we go. We are in our Virgin Atlantic aircraft. Our departure is from Kilo Sierra Delta Foxtrot, Louisville. I want to put us at a gate. Gate A8 will be fine. And I'm not going to put any arrival information. You can see it's a little stormy out right now, but that's fine. We'll give this air traffic control program a chance to work in real IFR conditions. And while that is loading up, let's pull out the new boy on the block. On-course software. Now again, this has been around for a good long time. It's just new to me. Select a flight plan. So I've flown 3 flights with it before, one from Seattle to Portland, one from Glasgow, England to Newcastle, England, and then the one that we're set up now is Louisville to St. Louis. Select the preset for our aircraft is the A320. That gives us long runway, 1,200 foot per minute climb, 1,200 foot per minute descent, approach speed of 140 knots. That is exactly what we want to see. Let's load that flight plan. No alternate, or skip the alternate. Processing. A SID star has been found for the flight. Do you want to use the same adjustments for this flight? Yes. A little caution there. And now let's go to adjust altitude, SIDs and stars. And I had set this up before. So all of these first waypoints, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all have to do with the departure. So I put DP in there for departure. And then the last 2, we're going to get vectors to final. There's a VOR and then vectors to final. So 501 altitude on the takeoff, 618 altitude on the arrival. We do need to get out our navgraph, and we need to look at the procedure and enter in the altitudes in our established procedure. And that is, again, another failing of the new boy. Whoa! There's a crack of thunder, and a clap of thunder, and a strike of lightning. Let's hit this ready to fly. Let's take a look at our ship. Do a quick little walk around. Beautiful livery. And an ominous sky. Whoa, we've got all sorts of things going on. Let's get our ground handling set up with my favorite ground handling program, which was called Pushback Express. And also we'll get our fly-by-wire A320 flight crew set. Let's get the jet bridge attached. No need boarding the aircraft in the rain. See if that entry door opens. Yes, the entry door did open. Roll around to the other side. We'll get the baggage process started. Here comes our flight attendant.
Let's start setting up.
Okay.
She's going to go crawl in the back, do her thing. Payware Airport. Both ends have Payware Airport. You know, somehow I love flying in this stormy weather. I just chose live weather, live time, live everything. And that's today, that's what we're getting. But I think it's fantastic. Okay, back to the air traffic control program. We need to have the navgraph to tell us what our approach altitudes are. So 6,000 feet. We're going to want to be at 6,000 feet at PXV. I'm just going to give some step down altitudes here. I've heard other people comment that one of the failings of the program is that it doesn't and I don't want to put in any holes in there. So that should be all set. And we will connect. Live weather, yes. We are now connected to the air traffic control program. Another one of the failings is, as soon as you get your clearance, you're going to, as soon as you get your clearance, you're going to be asked for a pushback clearance and a taxi clearance all together. And usually I like to have a little separation in those events. But we're going to muddle through as best we can. And let's hop aboard. Look at this jet bridge. Oh, the detail.
I'm back. No issues on the walk around.
Wonderful. Okay. Great to have you back. Let's fire up this baby. We have external power. Let's use it. Battery 1 on, battery 2 on. We'll listen for the air conditioning in the background. Let's get the emergency exits armed in case anyone in the cabin needs to find an exit in a hurry in the dark. Turn on the seatbelt sign. Turn on the no smoking sign. Get nav 1, nav 2 on. Wing lights on. Hold off on the beacon. Hold off on the strobe. Hold off on the landing and the taxi lights. Let's turn on the ground control and do a CVR test, cockpit voice recorder test. That test is fine. We will get up to our ADIR system, inertia reference system. We'll turn on IR system number 1 to nav, IR system number 2 to nav, and IR system number 3 to nav. That is fine. We will hold off on the fuel pumps. We'll do a fire warning test on the APU, auxiliary power unit. That test is fine. We'll do a warning test for smoke in the cargo area. That test is fine. We will hold off on playing around with the cockpit and forward and aft cabin temperature controls. They wouldn't do any effect now anyway since the APU is not running. Might have a chance to use those wipers here in just a bit. Let's do an annunciator light test. Turn on the annunciator light test. Every bulb in the house, every element, every filament, every LED. We're looking for things that are burnt out, things that are not illuminating the way they should. And everything in here looks wonderful. So we are done with the upstairs for right now. Let's get down to our McDo. Go to the ATSU menu, then the AOC menu, company menu. We'll initialize the flight by asking for our dispatch information through the data link. Here we have our flight, Virgin Atlantic, flight number 43 from Louisville to St. Louis. Fuel on board is 9.5. That's a lot of fuel. 46-minute flight. Let's go to our next page, which is mostly to be filled out when the flight is over. Time out, time in, landing pilot. Did we use auto land? All that can be filled out afterwards. So let's go back to page 1. Go back to the company menu. We will ask for some weather. How about K, Sierra, Delta, Foxtrot, and Kilo, STL, St. Louis. METAR is current information. We'll request that. We'll also ask for TAF, Terminal Aerodrome Forecast. And we'll ask for that. Probably going to be pretty stormy. Let's go back to our company menu and do a weight and balance. We'll request our information. We're not going to push load because that'll give us our block fuel is 7018, but we actually have, if we go to our fuel page, we have 9520 on board. So it's plenty of fuel. Let's go to the next page. This is our zero center of gravity, our zero fuel weight, our baggage load and payload. We will send that and we will load that. Load our actual numbers into the aircraft. Okay, one thing is done. Now let's go back to our company menu. We've received some messages, our new TAF and our new METAR. Let's get that information. Don't care so much about our departure for the forecast. Let's go to our arrival. St. Louis, this date block, that time block, has wind 090 at 8, wind from the east at 8. That's not good. That's going to be a tailwind. 6 statute miles of visibility scattered at 2,500, broken at 5,000 feet, temporarily from this time to this time, broken at 2,500 from this time period, variable. That's good, that's variable. 6 statute miles
Hi, the
scattered.
security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Yes, you can start boarding.
Bring those
Thanks.
fine folks aboard. Scattered at 900, broken at 15. So variable, 3 knots, 6 statute miles visibility. Okay, so we're not really losing any visibility, and the actual cloud cover is getting better. Broken at 5. Here we have broken at 1,500. That's poor. And then, okay, better, poor, and then slightly better. Let's go down a little further here. Okay, variable 4 knots. Okay, so wind is not an issue, visibility is not an issue. The only issue is low clouds. So let's print that out. Go down to the magical printer. And we have our forecasted information. Now let's get our real live information. This is the information that's more pertinent. Meter. Print. Oh, well, let's read it before we print it. St. Louis. Well, let's go back to, okay, conditions for Louisville. Time block, wind 130.5. That's more like it. That's a wind we want. That's from the southwest. Southwest at 5 knots, 10 statute mile visibility, 2,500. Again, some low clouds, but good visibility. Overcast 200. Wow, we might catch a pocket where the cloud comes almost down to the ground. 25 and 20, that's a fairly close dew-point spread, so we can expect low clouds. Okay, altimeter 30111, that's a higher altimeter setting, so that's a little strange to have a pocket of high pressure right there. Let's go down to St. Louis. 10 statute miles, 2,400, 4,200, 2418. This dew-point spread is getting better. So better weather. The altimeter is not quite as high, but better weather, less chance of low clouds and fog where we're going. So let's push print, and we'll get that meter out of our printer. Wonderful. Back to the McDo menu. Now we'll go to the flight management computer. We are in an Airbus A320-200 with LEAP 1A engines rated at 26,000 pounds of thrust. Our AIRAC cycle is, let's see, 9 September to 6 October. Today is 6 October. It expires today, but it is current. Let's go to the data menu, then to aircraft status. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Data. Aircraft status. That's not what I wanted. Data. Aircraft status. There we go. Initialization. Let's initialize Virgin Atlantic flight number 43, Memphis as an alternate, Louisville to St. Louis. Cost index is 8. Tropopause is 2. If that were closer to our 2,200 flight level, then I would calculate that to make sure it was accurate. But the tropopause is high enough not to worry about it. Cruise level, flight level 300. I wonder where that came from. I want that to be flight level 220. It took it. Okay. I didn't think it would take it. Ha ha ha. Let's go to the next page. We'll do a zero fuel. Center of gravity is correct. Don't need any fuel planning because we know what our onboard fuel is. 9.5. Oh, six, almost 7 hours of extra time because of all the extra fuel. That's wonderful. Let's go to the flight plan page. Off of Louisville, we're going to be taking runway 29, and we're going to be using the Apollo 6 to Apollo. Why don't we have Apollo as a transition? Okay, I'm not sure of this. Okay, I think I just got rid of a vector. That user is kind of the Airbus way of saying vector. I don't like that vector. And there at the end, we are going to depend on vectors on our arrival because we don't have an arrival route, but not for the departure. Okay, down to PXV. A PXV is the end of our routing. And so let's go to St. Louis, arrival. And we are landing runway 29, and we have no star. So here's a time when vectoring would be good. Insert. I believe that will be fine. Let's take a broader look. Let's go to the plan view. And we will toggle through these waypoints. Gadsden, Luke. Oops. Gadsden, Luke. Alamy. Downs, Apollo, and then we are down to our runway. Okay. Very good. We are ready for a checklist.
Before start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Cockpit prep has been completed.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
They have been removed.
Removed.
Signs.
Signs. Now, you're not going to like this. I'm going to say they're fine, but you're not going to like it, I know.
On and auto.
Are you sure about that?
See, I
Adiers.
knew you were going to question me about that. Adiers is on.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
Fuel quantity is 9.5.
9520 kilograms. Set.
Takeoff data.
Takeoff data is calculated.
Set.
Barrel ref.
Barrel ref is 2992.
2992. Set.
2992. Set. Down to the line.
Wonderful. Let's turn the constraints on. Kick up some cabin lighting on both sides. Now here's something I know you're not going to like. I mentioned when we get our clearance, we're going to get a approval for pushback and approval for taxi, and we're not ready for either one of those to happen yet. But let's get our clearance.
Ground, Virgin 4-3.
Virgin 4-3, contact clearance delivery on 126.1.
126.1, Virgin 4-3, good day.
126.1.
Clearance Virgin 4-3 at gate 58 IFR 2 Kilo Sierra Tango Lima with information Quebec. Request clearance.
Virgin 4-3 clear 2 Kilo Sierra Tango Lima. Delta Papa departure clear to 5000. Squawk 3614 departure 125.902.
Clear to Kilo Sierra Tango Lima. Delta Papa departure at 5000, squawking 3614, departure on 125.902, Virgin 4-3.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Virgin 4-3, read that
problem.
correct.
Have a safe
Altimeter
flight.
is 1019 north, ground on 121.7 when ready to taxi.
Roger, altimeter is 1019, contact ground on 121.7, Virgin 4-3.
We have our load sheet so we can lock.
Ground, Virgin 4-3, ready to taxi.
We have our load sheet so we can lock the cabin door. We're not ready to taxi.
Virgin 4-3, taxi to runway 11 using taxiway. Golf, Alpha, Bravo.
Roger, Golf, Alpha, Bravo, runway 11, Virgin 4-3.
Let's talk to the folks.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck. This is the captain speaking. On behalf of the entire flight crew and myself, I'd like to welcome you aboard today's flight. Our flight attendants are there for your comfort, but more importantly for your safety, so please give them a few minutes of your undivided attention while they go over the safety features of this aircraft. Once the boarding process is complete, we'll get the cabin door closed and push off the gate for an on-time departure. In the meantime, please sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. Welcome aboard.
Let's go to our performance page. We will enter our transition altitude of 18,000 feet. We'll also give our flap setting of a flaps 1 and our stabilator trim as down 0.0, which basically means no trim setting. We have a flex temp calculated today at 56 degrees, which makes our engine slightly less efficient in the interest of noise abatement and prolonging engine life. If those numbers are correct, we ought to get some V-speeds. There it is, 140 on the V2, 136 on the VR, and 135 on the V1, which is what we need for takeoff performance. Let's get the APU fired up. Beacon light on. Master on. Start on. Bleed air on. I know, now that we get the APU on, we can cool the cabin and the flight deck down just a little bit. Let's get the cabin crew oxygen supply on. We will turn on the fuel pumps and we will once we get those fired up, we ought to have no generator fault. Let's do a test of the fire suppression system on engine number 1. And the same test on engine number 2. That passes just fine. How are things looking out the windshield? They're actually looking better, aren't they? They don't look near as stormy as it did earlier. Looks like the baggage process is complete. You still have the jet bridge attached, of course. The name of our airplane is Maggie May. Maggie, may I go to St. Louis? Let's get out of plan mode and back to arc mode. Engines are currently not running. Bleed air is on and providing 35 psi at 250 degrees Celsius. Inlet, outlet, and safety valves are closed. We have no vertical speed, cabin altitude, and PSI. PSI is 0, cabin altitude 475 feet, which should be ground altitude since our cabin door is open. Electrical system. We're getting power from the APU. We also have ground power available. Batteries are fully charged at 28 volts. Hydraulic system is not actuated. Fuel pumps are showing all on. Fuel on board is 95.2. The APU is running,
Envoy 4056, clear of the active runway.
providing 35 pounds of PSI, and
Taxi
APU
to terminal,
generator
Envoy
is available.
4056.
24 degrees, so it's good we're cooling things down just a little bit. It's a touch on the warm side. Only the one cabin door is open. Wheel temperatures are fine. Wheel pressures are fine. Flight controls have not yet been checked. So, that is all as it should be. Just going to let them finish up the last of their boarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board today. As you locate your assigned seats, please place your smaller items under the seat in front of you to provide more room for larger items in our overhead compartments. If you need assistance, contact a flight attendant. If you are unable to accommodate any item in the cabin, please bring it to the boarding door and we will check it for you. Also, review the safety instruction card in your seat pocket. If you are seated at an exit seat, also review the exit seating criteria.
Let's check with the ground crew.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
Confirm all ground checks complete. We're cleared to pressurize the hydraulics.
Outside check is completed. All doors and panels are closed. No issues found. You can pressurize the hydraulics anytime now.
Great. Let's get the tug hooked up.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We will be ready shortly.
Understood.
Did not mean for you to disconnect that jet bridge quite yet. We still might have one or two stragglers, so we need that jet bridge to stay attached a little longer. Oh, this is the toughest part. You got to be a little patient. Speed brakes armed. Can't yet set the auto brake. When I was a tour bus driver, I always used to say, you know, the few folks you wait for at the very end, and sometimes even
Hey
beyond
guys,
the
are
end.
we clear to close?
Yes.
Thanks. Let me know if you need anything.
Say the few folks you wait on before, they're the ones who are going to be the last ones all throughout the day, but they pay their fare like everyone else, so they deserve every minute. Boarding door is closed. Jet bridge is pushed back. We've already have our pushback clearance and our taxi clearance, so let's push.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead, flight deck.
We are ready for pushback and engine start.
Understood. Release the parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Pushing back.
We're just going to hold off until we're clear of any ground equipment. Let's finish up our checklist.
All ground equipment is clear. You can start the engines at your
Below the
discretion.
line.
Windows and doors.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Off.
Before start, checklist complete.
Starting engine 2.
Once again, ladies
Starting
and
engine
gentlemen,
1.
welcome on board our flight
Next
today.
left, on Golf.
Flight attendant speaking. Please direct your attention to the cabin crew for important safety information. There is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates the safety equipment on this aircraft. Regulations require compliance with this information as well as all crew instructions, lighted information signs, and posted placards.
We're going to be getting audible
Fasten your
taxi
seatbelt by inserting
instructions.
the metal tip into the buckle. Tighten by pulling on
In
the
the
belt.
real world, they're
To
called
release your
progressive
seatbelt,
taxi.
lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs and instructions for door operation.
Foxtrot, Romeo, Echo, 5,
The push is
2, 6,
complete.
clear
Please set the
active
brakes.
runway. Foxtrot, Romeo, Echo,
Parking brake set. Understood. Okay, the turbo is disconnected and the pin is out and equipment is clear.
Thanks, you can disconnect and go to hand
signals. Thanks, have a good flight and we'll see you later.
If there is a loss of cabin pressure, a panel will
After
open
start
and
checklist.
oxygen mask
Anti-ice.
will appear.
Off.
Remain
ECAM
seated
status.
with your seatbelt
Checked.
fastened and
Pitch
pull a mask
trim.
toward you to start
26%
the flow of
set.
oxygen.
Rudder trim.
Oxygen will
0.
be flowing
After start,
to the mask
checklist
even
complete.
though the bag
Let's
may not
do
inflate.
a
Cover your nose and mouth with the mask. Place
flight
the
control
elastic
check.
band around your head and tighten by pulling on the ends.
Flight
Secure
control
your own
check.
mask
Ready.
before assisting others.
Full down.
Your seat bottom cushion may be used as
Full
a
up.
flotation device.
Neutral.
Pull up and remove the cushion.
Full right.
Upon exiting the aircraft, place
Full
your arms
left.
around the cushion and
Neutral.
hold on
Rudder.
to the straps located on the
Full
back.
right.
This is a non-smoking
Full
flight.
left.
Smoking is not
Neutral.
permitted in the cabin or
and at this
lavatory.
time you would do your side.
Cabin lights will now be turned off. Reading light buttons are located above your seat. Thank you for your attention.
We have our taxi clearance. I forgot what runway we're taxiing to. Let's see. It would be 29. So let's just continue a little bit to the left and somehow make it to through this mess, and we'll be at the end of 29. Our departure is the Apollo 6. And the briefing on that is runway 29, standard or lower than standard if authorized, minimum climb. Okay. 500 per nautical mile. 29, climb heading 296 to intercept course 270 to Gadsden, then on depicted right to Apollo. So 29 to Gadsden, and then to Apollo. Wonderful. We've had our taxi briefing. We've had our departure briefing. Let's set the flaps to takeoff configuration. Flap setting 1. Let's get our starter switch to both. Arm the speed brakes.
Delta 2602, clear the active runway.
Maximum on
Delta
the
2602, taxi to
brakes. Let's ding the
Taxi to
cabin.
terminal. Delta 2602.
And we will do a configuration check. All blue.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
We are expecting progressive taxi, so let's hope it's there. Brake off. Brake check.
Brake check.
Pressure 0.
Okay, where's my taxi instructions?
Bear right.
Oh, bear right. There we go. There's a bear to the right. Oh,
Straight
no.
on.
Straight on.
Bear right. Straight on. Bear left on taxiway Alpha.
Bear left.
Bear left on taxiway.
Bear left. Looks like we're on the runway. Are we on the runway? Looks to me like we're on the runway. Parking brake on. Lights. Strobes on. Landing lights on. APU off. Start the clock. Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Completed.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1. VR. V2. Flex temp.
V1 1 3 5. VR 1 3 6. V2 1 4 0. Flex temp 5 6 degrees.
V1 1 3 5. VR 1 3 6. V2 1 4 0. Flex temp 5 6 degrees. ATC.
Set.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff no blue.
Down to the line.
Below the line.
Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Progressive wind shear is on. TARA on the transponder. Both on the engine selector.
Normal.
Packs.
Packs are on.
Packs are on.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Let's talk to the tower. Don't see the tower option in there. Let's make sure we're at 29. Oh, we're not. We're on 29, but we're not at the beginning of 29. Let's get ourselves to the beginning of 29. Let's get off of this. Break off.
Straight on.
I'm blaming you, buddy, for not putting me at the beginning of 29. I'm also blaming this wacky runway setup.
Steady. Steady.
Virgin 4-3. Contact tower on 124.2.
124.2 Virgin 4-3. Tower, Virgin 4-3, runway 11, ready for departure.
I don't want to be on 1-1.
Virgin 4-3, winds 130, at 6, runway 11, cleared for takeoff. Altimeter is 1019 or.
Takeoff.
Roger.
Check.
Cleared for takeoff, Virgin 4-3.
Man flex 5, 6. SRS auto thrust blue.
Check.
I guess we're leaving runway 11. Ha ha ha! There's the flex setting. Not full, not toga power, but flex power. Rudders now have authority. Where's my V1 call? Where's my rotate call?
Nav.
Check.
Gear up. Flap 0.
Check speed.
Virgin 4-3, contact departure on 125.9 or 2.
Flap 0.
Check speed.
Roger 125.9 or 2, Virgin 4-3. Departure, Virgin 4-3, out of 1,500 for 5,000.
Check.
Virgin 4-3, roger,
Check.
radar contact, altimeter is 1019er.
Departure, Transavia, Bravo, Romeo, Alpha, Sierra, India, Lima, with you.
Transavia, Bravo, Romeo, Alpha, Sierra, India, Lima, radar contact, altimeter is 1019er.
1019er, Transavia, Bravo, Romeo, Alpha, Sierra, India, Lima.
Departure, Golf, Delta, Charlie, Alpha, Bravo, level at.
Golf, Delta, Charlie, Alpha, Bravo, roger, radar contact, altimeter is 1019er.
1019er, Golf, Delta, Charlie, Alpha, Bravo.
Outstar.
Check.
Speed.
Check. 1,000 to go.
Check.
Departure, uniform, Papa, Sierra, with you. Uniform, Papa, Sierra, radar contact, altimeter is 1019er. 1019, uniform, Papa, Sierra. Alpha, Mike, Echo, Romeo, India, Charlie, Alpha, November, turn left heading 080.
Left to 080, Alpha, Mike, Echo, Romeo, India, Charlie, Alpha, November.
We can disarm the ground spoilers. We can leave the lights on for a little longer.
Alpha, Sierra, X-ray 787, turn left heading 325. Turn left heading 325, Alpha, Sierra, X-ray 787.
After takeoff, climb
Foxtrot
checklist.
618, turn right heading 240.
Right heading
Up.
240, Foxtrot
Pack.
618.
Packs are on.
Down to the line.
Clear rad nav.
Okay.
So we have constraints of above 5,000 feet for these last couple of waypoints. Wow, did somebody just boogie right by us?
Victor, Oscar, Lima, Alpha, Romeo, India, Sierra. Turn left heading 240.
Left to 240, Victor, Oscar, Lima, Alpha, Romeo, India, Sierra.
I think we just had a...
Departure Bravo, Oscar, Echo, India, November, Golf is with you, level at.
Bravo, Oscar, Echo, India, November, Golf. Radar contact. Altimeter is 1019er.
1019er, Bravo, Oscar, Echo, India, November, Golf. Departure Alpha, Sierra, X-ray, Golf, Sierra is with you, out of 45,000.
Alpha, Sierra, X-ray, Golf, Sierra. Radar contact. Altimeter is 1019er.
1019er, Alpha, Sierra, X-ray, Golf, Sierra. Departure Delta, Echo, Lima, Tango, Alpha, out of...
Delta, Echo, Lima, Tango, Alpha. Radar contact. Altimeter is 1019er.
So we have constraints that keep us above 5,000 feet, but all we're being given is 5,000 feet.
Departure Alpha Sierra X-ray 320 is with you out of 3,000.
Alpha, Sierra, X-ray 320. Radar contact. Altimeter is 1019er.
Roger, 1019er. Alpha Sierra X-ray 320.
Well, folks, I'm going to pause the recording.
Whiskey, India, Golf, Alpha, India, Romeo, Whiskey, Alpha. Turn right heading 205.
We'll catch up with you a little closer to
right,
St. Louis.
205, Whiskey, India.
Roger, Virgin 4-3.
Just about 40 miles out from our first waypoint to the runway, I just got a expect vectors message from ATC, and I pulled up our ATIS. Am I not going to get the ATIS again?
Landward St. Louis.
Oh. Took a bit there.
This is Landward St. Louis International Airport information. Victor. Weather at 2130 Zulu. Winds 90 at 12. Visibility 6 miles. Sky conditions scattered. Temperature 25. Dew point 18. Altimeter 1016. ILS runway 29 in use. Landing departing runway 29. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Victor.
Okay, that's our ATIS.
This is Landward.
And you can see at the 40-mile range, our next waypoint for him is just coming in. I'm going to go ahead and arm our landing system. Move the range down to 20. As we're crossing the Mississippi River, we might get a view of the Gateway Arch. famous St. Louis landmark. I believe it was constructed in, I want to say 1964 or 1965, somewhere in that time frame. Celebrating the departure of Lewis and Clark's voyage of discovery in 1803. When the country was very young, it was right after the Louisiana Purchase. Thomas Jefferson just helped negotiate this purchase of land from the French, and he sent these two young men out to check out the purchase. Let's see what we just bought for, what was it, 8 cents an acre or something, some ridiculously low price like that. There isn't any real terrain in this area, but just for fun, I turned on the terrain radar. We're getting one piece of traffic outside the 5-mile arc ahead of us on our left. I mentioned one of the good things about this program is that it has good traffic calls. The traffic that it calls is traffic that you can see. There's an airport directly ahead of us. We don't have airports on in our display, but we can turn them on. There it is. It's, what's the name of that airport? 6LL6. Certainly not suitable for an Airbus.
Virgin 4-3, contact approach on 131.12.
Roger 131.12, Virgin 4-3. Approach Virgin 4-3, level at 5,000.
Virgin 4-3, altimeter is 1016. Virgin 4-3, continue present heading.
Looks like two runways in relatively close proximity to each
Virgin
other.
4-3, turn left heading 280.
Left to 280, Virgin 4-3.
They're starting to get the vectors. This is what we wanted. Oh, shoot. Heading 280. I made a mistake. I was fiddling around with the speed.
Heading.
Check.
Let's leave the speed managed.
Below the line.
Barrel ref.
1016.
1016.
Virgin 4-3,
After
reduce
takeoff
speed
time,
to
checklist
190.
190, Virgin 4-3.
Confirmed.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Seatbelts.
On.
Barrel ref.
1016. Set.
1016. Set. Minimum.
200. Set.
200. Set. Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist complete.
Let's bring our speed down to 190.
Virgin 4-3, cleared for the ILS runway 29er approach. Contact tower on 118.5 when established.
Until established on the ILS runway 29er. Tower on 118.5 when established. Virgin 4-3.
Let's go back to a managed
Nah.
heading.
Check.
Lima, India, November 4603, turn left heading 260.
Turn left heading 260, Lima, India, November 4603.
You can see we're starting to get a localizer indication. Let's go to flaps 1.
Are you sure about that?
Shut up.
Are you sure about that?
I like you questioning my every decision. Let's go to 180 on the speed. I believe that's the Mississippi River right ahead of us. I can't see
Virgin
downtown St.
4-3,
Louis.
reduce speed to 170.
Speed down to 170. You got it.
170, Virgin 4-3.
Lima, India, November 4603, turn left heading 350.
Roger, left heading 350, Lima, India, November 4603.
Lima, India, November 4603, turn right heading 270.
Right heading 270, Lima, India, November 4603.
Let's go 2 on the flaps. Bring the speed to 165. Yeah, the archway might just be behind these little clouds here. There's the downtown skyline. Right behind the archway is the famous courthouse.
Lima, India, November 4603, turn left heading 290.
Left 290, Lima, India, November 4603.
Lima, India, November 4603, turn right heading 275.
Right heading 275, Lima, India, November 4603.
Manual flight.
Check.
Lokestar.
Check.
AP1.
Check.
So we're on dual APU. I'm dual autopilot. We are capturing localizer right now. We are flying under the glide slope. Let's go to 150 on the speed and gear down. And I want to see that archway.
Frontier 5087, turn left heading 345.
departure left heading 345, Frontier 5087.
Right on the green patch.
Frontier 5087, turn right heading
That green
275.
patch just near the left
Right
wingtip.
275, Frontier 5087.
That's the archway. Right off the left wingtip, and you can see the green patch, the courthouse, and maybe a little twinge of the archway.
Glide slope stop.
Check.
See the archway reflection in the river?
Glide slope.
Check.
Yes, that's it, baby. Okay, 145 on the speed, and let's go to full flaps. Let's go to 138 on the speed.
Landing checklist.
Cabin crew.
Frontier 5087, turn left heading 260.
Left heading 260,
Advised.
Frontier
Auto thrust.
5087.
Speed.
Auto brake.
Off.
ECAM memo.
Auto brake is now on.
Landing. No blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Radar, armed to speed brakes. Radar, terrain radar is coming alive. Again, not a whole lot of need for it here in the Midwest. Let's see the archway from the back.
Tower Virgin 43 at 900 miles to the southeast at 3,500 landing.
Virgin 43, continue approach here, number 14 landing.
Continue approach number 14 landing. Virgin 43.
Oh, there's the archway. Just off of our wingtip.
Tower Golf Alpha Juliet 75, declaring a missed approach.
Golf Alpha Juliet 75.
Radar altimeter alive.
Check.
Well, I have no idea what runway we're supposed to be landing at, but looks like the ILS is clearly not lined up with whatever runway it thinks we're landing on. Should I just
Tower Lima, India, November 4603 at 6 miles for landing.
maybe
Lima,
the
India, November 4603, continue approach.
maybe the
Continue
runway
approach
is,
number Lima, India, November 4603.
maybe the runway is
Virgin 43, wind 090, at 12, altimeter is 1016, cleared to land runway 29.
Cleared to land runway 29, Virgin 43.
boy, maybe the runway's just, oh, it is. It's just beyond the foggy area. It's not one of these two runways here on our immediate right. Notice the terrain radar has gone into the red. It's useless now, so let's turn it off.
Check.
Frontier 5087 winds 090 at 12 altimeter is 1016 clear to land runway 12 left.
Runway 12 left, clear to land, Frontier 5087.
Lima, India, November 4603 winds 090 at 12 altimeter is 1016 clear to land runway 12 left.
Runway 12 left, clear to land, Lima, India, November 4603.
Virgin 43, contact ground on 118.902 when clear of the active.
118.902 Virgin 43. Ground, Virgin 43, clear of the active runway.
Virgin 43, hold your position.
Yeah, the bad thing about that runway location is that as you use the full length of the runway, you've got God's half acre to taxi back to get to the terminal. This terminal was partially destroyed by a tornado several years ago, 5 or 7 years ago, and since then I've been to this airport a few times and I try to pick out the parts that were replaced, and to my eye, I can't do it. I can't find out. I can't just by visually looking see which areas look newer than the rest.
Virgin 4-3, hold your position.
The reason
Virgin 4-3.
The reason I'm ignoring him, and the reason I turned on the default air traffic control for ground guidance, and you can see the little ground markers just ahead of us, is because if I follow his ground instructions, he could very well assign me a gate to park at, but it won't have a marshaller. The only way to get the marshaller is to go to the gate that the native flight simulator air traffic control has picked out for you. Also, the gate he picks out could have a static aircraft at it, and that's less likely at a gate picked out by the flight simulator. So he's going to scream at me because I am not holding my position. But we'll get to our gate, and we should have a marshaller to help us in. Of course, in real life, you would have a marshaller and 2 wing walkers. I have to have a way of doing that in the future. This is Payware Airport. So far, I've got my money's worth just by seeing the Gateway Arch as we were approaching downtown. Of course, if we were following real air traffic control, we would have permission to cross all of these intermediate runways.
Virgin 4-3, hold your position. Roger, Virgin 4-3.
I like the audible taxi assistance on the departure because you're going to a runway and you both know what runway that is and there's no ambiguity about it. But when it comes to going to the gate, there is a way with this air traffic control program to pick out a specific gate. But then again, you don't know if there's a static airplane there, and there certainly won't be a marshaller there. So on landing, I give up on the ATC program and I go back to the basics, back to the default Microsoft assignment, and I'll have a nice marshaller when I get there. Still might have a static airplane, especially with the Payware Airport. Sometimes the Payware Airport, there's the main terminal, looks great. Sometimes the Payware Airport is more likely to have static aircraft as part of the scenery.
Virgin 4-3, hold your position.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Spoiler.
Roger, Virgin 4-3.
Disarmed.
APU.
Start.
Radar.
Off.
Predictive wind shear system.
Off.
Are you sure about that? After landing, checklist complete.
Yeah, we didn't turn off the predictive wind shear system right there, and we didn't turn off the transponder right there. Is that my marshaller? Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes, I'm getting a marshaller and a wing walker. Oh, it's supposed to be, even though his directions don't line up with the I'm going to follow the pavement markings. He's not going to like this. But I'm going to follow
Virgin 4-3, stand by. Virgin 4-3, taxi to terminal.
Yeah, taxi to terminal. I'm already
Taxi
here.
to terminal, Virgin 4-3.
Lima, India, November 4603. Clear of the active runway.
Lima, India, November 4603. Taxi to terminal.
Roger, taxi to terminal. Lima, India, November 4603.
Seatbelt sign off. Engines off. Let those fine folks get up and about. Go to the doors page. The door is open. They can all start exiting. Beacon off. Wing. Anti-ice. Leave that armed just a little longer. The emergency exit switch armed a little longer. Let's do a parking checklist.
Parking checklist.
APU bleed.
On.
On.
Engines.
Off.
Off.
Seatbelts.
Off.
Off.
Exterior lights.
Off.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
Off. 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 Off.
Off.
Parking brake and chocks.
On.
Parking checklist complete.
Secure the aircraft.
Securing the aircraft checklist.
Adheres.
Adheres. Off. Off. Off.
Off.
Oxygen.
Oxygen is off.
Off.
APU bleed.
APU bleed is off.
Off.
Emergency exit light.
Emergency exit lights now can come off. Oops. Got the other way. There we go. Off.
Off.
Signs.
Off.
APU and battery.
APU off and battery is off.
Off.
Securing the aircraft checklist complete.
Ooh, thanks for flying with me, folks. One shot of Christy. And I wish you a good day.